on the 83rd floor. I'm gonna die, aren't I?
No.
I'm gonna die.
Liv, say your prayers.
God.
We're gonna think positive because you gotta help each other get off the floor.
I'm
Now,
gonna die.
My name is PJ and my task is to inform on the negative impacts the removal of troops has had on women and young girls in Afghanistan. When the US invaded Afghanistan in 2001, the goal was to end terrorism. In the span of 2 years, the US has done much more. Increased the number of attendance for young girls in school, increased the life expectancy for women, and their freedom was supported by a strong Western power. That is until the Trump administration signed a peace deal with the Taliban in 2021 that required the removal of troops.
Khalilzad and Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar shook hands to start the process of ending the US's longest-running war. The Americans entered Afghanistan in 2001 to remove the Taliban from power. Now, 19 years later, the Taliban and the US are talking peace.
In 2021, the reality became a harsh truth for women and their futures. Many fearful families rushed to the airport to seek safety. Immediately, the Taliban took over and enforced strict rules onto women. They required full body covering, removal of women from government jobs, secondary school became unavailable for young girls, and the Ministry of Women no longer exists. Questions arose as to whether or not the US guaranteed the rights of women before they left. Before signing the Doha Agreement, it was agreed upon that the Taliban would uphold the human rights of their citizens. There is no conclusive answer. One may say the US was involved for too long and it was time for them to head back to the States and fight for the interests of its own nation. While on the other hand, some may say that the US was giving room for the citizens to stand on their own. How have activists stood up? A prime example of bravery is an educator who was arrested and not seen again. But I am ready and willing to sacrifice my life for 20 million Afghan women and girls, and for the future of my 2 children, he continued. The only power I have is in my pen. Even if they kill me, even if they tear me to pieces, I won't stay silent now. His name is Schmeil, and he will be remembered for his actions and impactful words that were seen as a threat by the Taliban. In the eyes of women around the country, he is a true ally and support. As a man who held the title of leadership, he used his status to publicly oppose the powers who aim to restrict human rights. He is one of many who have used their voice to speak out and refuse to stand down.
Afraid at all, though, about speaking out?
No, I'm not afraid. Why we should be afraid? We're talking about something right. شجاعت از زیر داشته باشیم و حکومت امارات اسلامی همچنان دوست داره که واقعیت‌ها را بشنود تا بتونه آینده بهتر برای همه مردم افغانستان و خودشون تا بتونه یک حکومت بهترتر خوبترتر داشته باشه باید واقعیت‌ها را گوش کنه.
Navizada was an activist who was assassinated for her part as an activist in a warring country. But her murder provides another appalling glimpse of how life in Afghanistan is deteriorating. For women and girls in particular, under the Taliban, people who mistreat or attack women have much less reason to fear punishment. Ashley Jackson chillingly reports, anyone can do anything to women. I was just about to end my video until I came across this news story that I would like to share. Viewer discretion is advised. A family was facing extreme poverty due to skyrocketing food prices, banks running out of money, and lack of employment. As a solution, they decided to sell their daughter to an older money in exchange for money. She was treated as if she were an object for sale.
I have no work, no money, no food. I have to sell my daughter, he says. I have no other choice. Only bag of belongings, she again resists. Digging her heels into the dirt. But it's futile. The fate of this small, helpless child has been sealed. My daughter doesn't want to go and is crying all the time. I am so ashamed, he says. Terrified, she threatens to take her life. If they push me to marry the old man, I will kill myself. I don't want to leave my parents. Days later, she discovers the sale has been finalised. Another Afghan child sold into a life of misery.
In conclusion, the effects of the removal of troops has played a part in the trauma many women and young girls will face. Removing girls from school only accomplishes in devastating the economy of all human talent that would be lost, potential doctors, leaders, and teachers.